cafe anyway.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
It's FF episode 2307, 2307, and Mike Matthews. Here we are on the eve of the election.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
The recall election in California, and it's Mike Matthews, and it's been an interesting day. I'm going to get to all kinds of stuff, that's things that happened to me, and I'll say that I have some big old bags under my eyes because I realize there's so much to do, and I'm hypnotized by all the work in the world.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
That one needs to do to keep things going in life. For example, your toilet.
Mike's
the plumbing.
Daily
When it's not working.
Podcast.
Oh, that's a pain.
Yeah!
So yes, that's what it all comes down to, is yours truly, Mike Matthews. On Friday, I used this big thing, pipe cleaning beast that I have, that my lovely lady friend got for me as a birthday present. One of the nicest birthday presents I ever got. And I've been using that. I used it a couple of times. It's worked in the past. It ain't working this time. It worked on Friday. Then I tried using it. We had backup situations again happening yesterday. And I used it thinking, oh, yep, that'll do it. We're done. Nope. It just kept more problems. Then I'm like, okay, I cleaned that out. Now, maybe it's just a localized pipe. That didn't work either. And it just goes on, and I won't go any further because it's just a nightmare. I've called a plumbing company, a rather well-known plumbing company, and they said, yeah, we'll be here today, meaning Monday, between 9 and 1, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. They call us at a little after 3 o'clock and say they're on the way. No, you're well past your window. No.
And here's today's podcast picture.
The podcast picture, I think, will be someplace I've been thinking about a lot lately when stuff gets stressed and I like to go somewhere not too far, nice little quick little drive, and that would be Benita. A picture from Benita 5 years ago. How about that? We'll do that. Mike'sDailyPodcast.com from 5 years ago. Okay. So, they did not show up. They're going to show up tomorrow morning at 8. I've got bags under my eyes. It drives me crazy when the plumbing is out because you need the plumbing. There's so much. It upsets you when things aren't going where they should go. Oh, Basil the boxer. This podcast picture, Basil was with me in Benicia. However, he's not in this picture, but he is implied. Because he was definitely with me this day. See it at Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. Basil the boxer was there when several times my plumbing went out. And he would see me go downstairs. Back then, before I had this amazing cable system that my lovely lady friend got me, I had to use a small little auger to try and do it. And that was even more, because the apparatus my lovely lady friend gave me, it sits on its own. And all I have to do is basically feed the cable into the washout, into the main pipe. And it generally works. And for some reason, it's not working now. And that's why I have called for reinforcements. But before that, I'd use the auger and I'd sit there and it would take me hours upon hours. And I'd be holding this like in pain, just holding well, at first I was doing the handheld turn. And that's just ridiculous. That gets nothing done. And then I did the one where you connect it to a electric drill gun thing, and that helps it. But still, you're holding the trigger down and holding it in position, and the cable is sometimes getting all bunched up. Oh, it's just not. You know what? Just buy stock in a plumbing company. I guess that's what it comes down to. So, talking a little bit about patience today, some people here in California have lost their patience and have decided that the governor needs to go. and everything's going to be changed because the governor is going to be recalled. That's their plan anyway. By the time you listen to this, you'll know whether he's been recalled or not. But here in California, it's recall and replace. So the ballot says no or yes with recalling Newsom. And then if you say yes, you have all these wonderful choices. And there are people here. I'm looking at this. I'm going to keep this sheet because this is utterly incredible. The California gubernatorial recall election sheet, the official voter information guide. Because some of these people literally say nothing under their description. Okay, you have someone like David Alexander Bramante, who's a Republican. And he says something like, Californians, I'm probably like you or someone you know. I've lived my whole life in or around Los Angeles. I was brought up by a single mom, blah, 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 you know, gonna make California. I will not run California alone. I will run California with all of you. That kind of thing. All right. So they give like a stance, you know, a platform. And then you've got people like Angeline, whom I've seen in person before, across the parking lot. She used to go and visit, I think her boyfriend or somebody that she knew had a store that was across the parking lot from the radio station I worked for in Ventura. And my late great boss, Mark Hill, used to say, hey, I just saw Angeline across the parking lot. And she looks nothing like she did in those billboards that she was known for. She was on these billboards, but she still wears pink. And she, you know, she's had some work done to her face. And I had no idea that was who that was because she's trying to look like she did at one time, which is a losing battle, folks. Don't try it. You're going to age. Embrace your... My mom told me from a young age, when I was really young, embrace your crow's feet. Because that shows, you know, you at least, if you're going to have wrinkles, try smiling a lot so you get the nice smiling wrinkles. You don't want the frown wrinkles. Smile more often, I guess, is my little bit of advice. As we go outside a cafe anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast, somewhere in Podcastro Valley Mont, the last place on earth. So Angeline, look up Angeline on your search engine. Type in Angeline now, and you'll see what that is. Somebody here under their platform, it just says search YouTube. Another person writes, can you dig it? That's in the official, this is the official voter information guide. And all he writes is, can you dig it? Another person writes, let's see, vote for me, the people's governor. That's all he writes. This is why I'm going to keep this. Love you. And not the word you, the letter U. Here's one. John is a recent community college graduate with a degree in political science. His continuing educational focus is government and policy making. That's why he should be governor. Wow. That's California, everybody. That's what we pay a lot of taxes, deal with a lot of traffic, and a lot of craziness. And that's how elections go in this wonderful state. You open up the gates, and this is what comes flooding in. So, in all of this, really quickly, how do you be patient when you've got this crazy election going on, when you've got people saying, oh, this is going to be a rigged election. Don't believe any of the results. They're already saying that because they know they're going to lose. They're also, plumbers that don't show up and all kinds of other crazy stuff. Practice being patient. It might sound simple, but practicing patience truly is a legitimate way to improve your patience. After all, how do you improve your skills in playing the piano? Practice, practice, practice. Everyday life, will no doubt provide you with ample opportunities to practice your patience. But if you would prefer to have more focus and control when practicing, try a few of these things. Read a difficult novel, such as War and Peace. Complete a large jigsaw puzzle or a book of Sudoku. How many empty people buy books, Sudoku books, and then never do? There's like all these abandoned Sudoku books everywhere you go, it seems. Commit to cooking meals from scratch. Try public transportation. Ban yourself from looking at your phone while waiting for appointments. And offer to babysit for a friend or family member. That will definitely, yes. It's working on your patience. That will try your patience. Focus on why you're impatient. It can help you shine a spotlight on your impatience. Inspect the real reasons why you're feeling impatient. When you acknowledge those reasons, you may be better placed to take control over those feelings and stop stressing about them. Remind yourself that you're just uncomfortable. Maybe not so much impatient. Life is the longest thing any of us will do. But sometimes mere minutes can feel like they stretch an eternity. When you are in these situations like being put on hold or stuck in traffic, it can feel very uncomfortable. You are waiting with little or no control over the situation. However, try to remember you are simply uncomfortable. These situations are not life-threatening. They may not be enjoyable, but they're bearable. Learn to recognize and accept discomfort. Distract yourself. That's another way. Many situations that demand patience simply require you to wait, such as a long plane line or a lengthy line at a restaurant. In those scenarios, there's nothing you can do to speed things up, but you can fill that time productively. Distract yourself. Like, for example, when you're waiting in line for a ride at Disneyland, they distract you with all this setup for the ride. Probably a ride that a lot of people have ridden because it's been around a long time, the Indiana Jones ride. That, while you're waiting in the line, there's all kinds of things like you pull on a rope and there's a weird noise, or you pull on a bamboo stick and that was holding the cave you're waiting in line in, and all of a sudden the top of the cave looks like it's going to come in. So there's like little things to do and little videos you're watching and films and stuff. Know what triggers your impatience. If the light bulb in your bathroom blows one morning, it's probably going to be a little more than a minor inconvenience in your day. If it blows for the 4th time in a month, you'd have to be a saint not to lose your patience. Most of us have common triggers that set off feelings of impatience, and they often come from recurring events, such as plumbing. Learn to accept that they will continue to occur and that you being impatient won't help in the slightest. Recognize the triggers that can help you manage your impatient responses. You can either find ways to alleviate or avoid them. Maybe I'll just have the plumber on speed dial. Practice empathy. That's something that we've talked about recently. Practice meditation and mindfulness. Make use of patience-building apps. Note your sometimes simply acknowledging a bad habit can help reduce it. Consider how people use swear jars to stop themselves from swearing. You can apply this same sort of method for your impatience. Use the Notepad app in your phone or a physical diary to write down every instance where your impatience bubbles over. Retrain or teach those who make you impatient. In some cases, your impatience will stem from someone else's incompetence, mistakes, or failure to follow procedure. This generally occurs at work, although impatience can also stem from partners, friends, children, or companies you employ for services. In these cases, the problem could be solved by spending some time retraining or teaching those involved. Give yourself a break. That helped me yesterday when I was just freaking out over everything I was trying to do to unplug the drain, watching YouTube videos. None of those were working. And And I just, I tried everything that I could find online, and I just said, finally, I give up. And I kicked back on the couch and relaxed, took a break, tried to get a different perspective on things. Oh, yeah, and then I found the phone number for the plumber. Focus on the bigger picture. Remember the goal. Remember the end goal. The bigger picture. Thinking of the bigger picture. Remembering the goal is the way to move through impatience by keeping a specific reason in mind. Find healthy ways to alleviate your impatience. Look to others. Remember, you won't become a patience guru overnight. Allow yourself to be impatient sometimes. Focus on the small wins. And de-stress in other areas. Delegate more tasks. That'll help you to other people. Taking time off for yourself. Prioritize sleep. It always comes back to that, getting more sleep. Booking a holiday. Taking on less work. Pride yourself in your patience and ask, like I said earlier, ask others for help. Sort of the same as delegating more tasks. Outside a cafe anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley. Hopefully that helps. Podcastro Valley, Mont, wherever we are. Look who's here. Hi, Mac. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How y'all doing?
It's a disgruntled fiddle player. Tell you what.
What?
I think you're moving us along because you're impatient.
I am kind of impatient. Let's get to the end of the show. Look who else is here.
Well, Mac, I make delicious soup here. Have some right now. I can't eat.
All right, I'm drinking it right now. Oh, it's so good.
Stop. Back to work.
Okay, that's the end of the show. As I drank the root beer. Next show, it'll be the wonderful Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. You can call and tell me what you think about anything we covered. 336MM Daily. 3 plus 3 equals 6. MM as in Mike Matthews. Daily as in what this podcast will try to be. And with more on where to contact me, it is a phone.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!